Hello, I'm Lauren Markham. Thanks for joining us on AFL Riverina TV. More than 20 years has passed since Joe Daniher arrived at Wagga Tigers and created a dynasty. He led the club to 5 flags in 6 seasons, including in 1995, and TD returned to Robertson Oval to celebrate along with Tigers' victorious sides of 1985 and 1975. AFL Riverina TV took a trip down memory lane with the Essendon legend.
Terry, welcome back to Robertson Oval, mate. You probably don't get back to Wagga very often, but it must be nice to come back for something like this.
Oh, certainly, particularly when Chris is coaching the opposition side today, and we got a pretty even match going at the moment. So, the place has changed a bit to the days when we used to run around Robbie Oval, but it's just great to see. The community grounds have improved it. It's going to hopefully improve the standard of the sport.
It's 20 years since Tigers under you completed a hat-trick of wins in your 3rd year here. Do you remember much of that 95 season in particular, or your first couple of years here?
Oh, look, Pete, it's just to come to the club. I didn't know much about Wagga Tigers and coming here, but soon found out that I was blessed with the calibre of people that worked around the club and the players that were at hand, and so it made life a lot easier for me. All I had to do was stay together and perhaps impart a little bit, pass a bit down onto the younger players that I had at the time, and of course, the key ingredient was working hard, and we kept at it, and we grew in confidence as a group as we went along, and had a bit of success comes with that.
Doug Priest was coach in 75, and I know he said then he had a group of youngsters that sort of came together over a couple of years, and he's thought a little bit the same when you came in the 90s. The Tigers had some good juniors there that were there at the right time for you.
Yeah, Phil Osbeaston and the crew, the junior coaches, and they did a great job in grooming them, and then all of a sudden we just had to give them an opportunity, and the guys that were ready, come on. Back in those days it was probably kids like Brad Seymour and Darren Cook and a few of those guys really come on pretty early and stamped their influence on the game. But we had a good mix, enough experience with Dozzy and Gerald Pieper, probably myself, and then we had the middle brigade, Steve Priest and those types of players, and then we had Cookie and Brad Seymour and some of the younger guys. So we had a good mix.
I know Doug said that was the biggest thing that came out of the 70s and probably in the 90s as well that's made Tigers a strong club, is trying to get the junior structure right. How important is that for footy clubs in the bush now?
Look, there's no question about it. You've got to keep the juniors coming through. The netballers can't do it for you. Look, netballers are propping up a lot of football clubs, but look, there's no question about it. I travel around a lot of country clubs, and structure's very important, and having a good junior base, and encouraging the young kids to come along and play footy with their mates. And you've got to make it a good environment to be around. And that's one thing that I always noticed, that it wasn't only the success we had on the field. We had a lot of success off the field, just with functions, and made it a great place to be around and to have a lot of fun. And it kept people in the club, and we all enjoyed the journey together, yeah.
You were big on fitness. Whenever I come to Robbo Oval and I look up there, I see Beauty Point in the background. There's a few blokes with nightmares about that place.
Yeah, look, it all depends how we went, and there were days there where we probably should have worked a bit harder than we should. And I always reminded them, always pointed up there to Beauty Point, because if you don't lift this quarter, we'll be doing it there on Monday night. So hopefully it worked.
Did that approach to fitness play into the hands of those young blokes who really wanted to step up in footy? Because you were pretty demanding in fitness, and that probably suited them.
Oh, well, it took a while for it to sink into some of them, but they mumbled and groaned and went crook at me. But I think they realised in the end that it got us over the line. It got us up in some important wins, along the journey. And it's a pretty important part of the game.
You had a lot of success in your time here, obviously. How fondly do you look back on your time in Wagga, just in general, footy and the town?
No, it doesn't matter where you win premierships. They're pretty important. They're all feel the same. It's a lot of work goes into it. A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into making, getting the side up, for that particular year, and to have success here, it's no different than in Melbourne or back at Hungary where I started, and they're all special premierships, and because of how much work you put into it, how hard it is to win them.
You won a few flags. Do any in particular stick in your mind as the most memorable in your time at Wagga Tigers, or in particular any opposition players you remember playing against?
Oh, look, there's a lot of very, very good clubs, and they're all the successful clubs. Turvey were great opposition, no question about it. Ganmain, Coolaman were always good sides, and the great thing about it, I suppose, when you're up there, you're there to be knocked off. And I remember travelling to places like Leeton and Griffith, and they always give you a good game. I said, who are these blokes coming? Wagga club coming down here, just stick it up them and see what they're made of. So we got a lot of good footy.
Just speaking of Mangapla here, Chris is obviously heavily involved as coach out there, and you've got a nephew playing out there, Jock.
Yeah.
You must have a half an interest in Mango, have you?
Well, certainly, and to see Mitch out there today, Mitch Daniher, and he's had a great career, with his footy, and down in Canberra, and now to come back here and play a bit of Riverina footy here and help Chris out, it's been tremendous. So they're another side that's grown. They're a pretty young side, just like the Wagga Tigers we see here today, and no, it's good to see them. It's their turn now, to cut their teeth and see how it all pans out for them.
An interest in the family at Essendon. How do you think Joe's going?
Yeah, Joey's performed not too bad at the present time. Still got a way to go, but they're just like Wagga Tigers. They're trying to get their forward line running right, and they're still learning the caper, and they've got to gel together. Him and young Carlisle and the players around them. Of course, they've got to get the ball. But they've had a reasonable start. They're at 2-2 and got a big game against St Kilda tomorrow. So they need to win that one and to keep their hopes alive. And winning that's where the confidence comes from. So winning gives you belief. And so if you're winning games, and it's a great thing for the side, and in working together, because it's hard work. It's a hard slog and a long season. So. He's got it all in front of him. He's doing okay.
A few distractions at Essendon over the last couple of years, but your old mate Kevin Sheedy's back involved again this year. You must be happy to see him back.
Yeah, it was good to see Kev back at the club, and he's a character, and he'll be good support for Jim, and just to get back and promote clubs and get the supporters back on board. They've been through a hell of a lot, just like the players. So to have someone like Kevin back in the club, he'll lift the confidence of the guys and the morale of the place, and I think it'd be great for him. Yeah, be back.
Enjoy the reunion and stay out of trouble, TD.
Yeah, get on you, Pete. Thanks for having us. Yeah, get on you.
That's good, mate.